In this video, we're going to have a look at how do we find the missing side of a triangle using similar shapes and linear scale factor. Now, the scale factor is generally calculated as the image length, and we're dividing it by the object length. Now, if we have two similar shapes, we can use scale factor to help us to calculate the missing side in one of those shapes. So in the question, we want to be able to calculate the length of BC, which has been marked with an X. So the first step to calculate BC is that we can calculate the scale factor of the two triangles. So I'm going to actually draw my two triangles separately to help me mark in my dimensions and get them clear as to what dimensions relate to what shapes. So looking at the smaller triangle, it has a side down here of 32, and the other side we know is X, which we are trying to find. My larger triangle, it has a side of 32 plus 4, so that equals 36. So when we have two triangles that have been joined together over the top of each other, it's important that we are picking up the correct measurements. So sometimes you will need to add two measurements together, in this case 32 plus 4. That is why drawing the triangle separately can help get this clear in your head, so you're not picking up the wrong measurements from the original diagram. And then the other side I know is 18. So now that I have my two triangles drawn, I can go ahead and calculate the scale factor. To calculate scale factor, I need to know that the length of a side on each triangle that is corresponding. So looking at side 32, the corresponding side is 36. So I can use these two sides to calculate my scale factor. So scale factor is image length over the object length. Now, because we don't know in the question which one's image, which one is object, we can go ahead and use any value for image and object. I normally use a larger value for my image. So 36 divided by 32, which equals 1.125. So my scale factor is 1.125, which means my bigger triangle is 1.125 times the size of my smaller triangle. Now I can use that to calculate the missing X value. So looking at size X, the corresponding side is 18. So I know that X times 1.125 is going to equal 18. So my X value is going to equal ED divided by the scale factor, which is 18 divided by 1.125, which equals to 16 units. So the length of side X in the question is 16 units. So we calculated that using scale factor. You could also have calculated X by locating the corresponding sides and writing each corresponding side as a ratio in a fraction, and then using the cross multiplication method to find the value of X, you would also have resulted in 16 units. So that is an example though of how we can use scale factor in calculating the missing side of a similar shape.